Well, hello there, and welcome to the Monday edition of glennzb TV, the show that puts glennzb up your Periscope. It's all the important stories from both New Zealand and the world. And speaking of importance, we've got the most important thing that's ever happened ever. Transmission. So the most important thing that could possibly happen, the All Blacks squad for the World Cup has been announced. Or is it really the most important thing? There have been some other things that have happened. I mean, that happened. That was quite important. This guy wandered around for a bit and did some important stuff, according to some people. So you've got the All Black squad. They discovered this. I mean, that's obvious. That's probably the most important thing. So if we had to rank them, where would you put it? There. So we have that. Oh, that's probably a bit further down the list. That's kind of the Big Bang and the Bourbon. That's kind of interchangeable. This guy, we need some kind of impartial ranking system. We'll figure all that out. Just on while we're on the World Cup squad, a little bit of controversy and maybe even some controversy over Waisaki Naholo being named in the squad, given that he's got a broken leg. So basically, he's fine though, according to the All Black medical team. Hello, Kazakhstan. Welcome in. So what our hopes rest on, according to news stories I've heard and read this morning, is traditional Fijian medicine. Apparently, have done wonders for the broken leg, and he'll be fine. What do you reckon traditional Fijian medicine has done to his? Is it just really strong kava? It's kind of had that numbing effect and you just can't really feel it. And he's pretty relaxed about the whole thing. Could be. Don't know a lot about Fijian medicine, but I know a little bit about kava. Now, some instructions on how to get your monitoring bracelet off. I don't know what you were thinking at, you dirty audience. Anyway, it turns out there are 19 people currently on the loose who've whacked it off, their monitoring bracelets. You're just so 12 years old, you people out there, you dirty minds. Anyway, I thought, if there's only 19 people running around out there, it must be harder to get this thing off than we initially thought. Somebody wants to know how the sheep are keeping. Is that an international viewer thinking that the only thing we do here in New Zealand is root sheep? It doesn't take that long to root a sheep. It's not the only thing we do. We've got other things to do in our time. Anyway, speaking of getting it off, your security monitoring bracelet. So I went to the internet and typed in some instructions on how to get your bracelet off. Because if only 19 people have managed to do it, that seems like a low number to me. It turns out you just need something quite sharp and you can get that off. Or, as I saw in one very instructional YouTube video, you just lie on the floor, the kitchen floor, with your foot in the freezer for 2 hours. You get a very cold foot. But the real advantage is that the bracelet goes quite brittle and you just give it a little tap and it just falls to pieces. Have I just broken the law by telling you to do that? Not sure. Let's move on quickly to the Great American Wall-Off. That's what's happening right now in the US presidential race, or the Republican candidate race anyway, with Scott Walker announcing that he thinks that he can go one further than Trump's idea of having a big wall between America and Mexico and having a wall between America and Canada. I'm not quite sure why he wants a wall between America and Canada, but I would not be averse to see him and Trump racing to see who can build their wall first. Kind of like a home renovation show, and the person with the best, biggest, fastest, highest wall, and then they could just get some illegal migrants and they could try and cross the wall, and whoever has the least amount of migrants coming across will win. Sounds like as good a way to decide on a presidential candidate as any. Anyway, that was GlennZB TV for Monday. I am GlennZB. Thank you so much for having me up your Periscope, and I will see you here tomorrow.